What's going on, everyone? Back again, continuing on with the Coupe, getting it running and back on the road. Basically, got to still do radiator, fuel system, got to put some seats in it, drive shaft uni. We've got a bit of an issue with as well, but that's why we're here. That's what we're going to get into. As you can probably see, it is freezing here in Adelaide. Currently in COVID lockdown. Not that it matters for me too much because I'm an essential worker. Beauty of having a trade. But yeah, got a heater cranking, another heater cranking. So yeah, gonna chill in here for the day, get a few things done on the Coupe, and yeah, hopefully fire this bad boy up. Good few things like carby, fuel system, radiator, a few other things, bits and pieces to get it going. Got to get the brakes sorted on the rear as well with that AU diff and adapt the original brake lines to that. So yeah, let's get cracking into it. So if you haven't watched the last episode, basically update on the Coupe quickly is I, as cheap as I possibly could, try putting a drivetrain back into this Coupe. Got my good Cleveland out from ages ago from when I broke a rocker arm. Sold the top loader, sold the 9-inch to try and help get some funding behind myself to be able to buy a Godzilla engine. So it's getting closer, still selling parts here and there to be able to fund that and buy a new engine. At the moment, just throwing some other bits and pieces in it, just using scraps around and stuff like that, radiator hoses and just little bits and pieces, because just trying to get it as cheap as I possibly can to get back on the road. It's probably going to cost me under $1,000. Also, in the last episode, I brought up that I've made some merchandise. Currently have shirts, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, stickers made up. I'm looking at getting more stuff done as well as we go along. No website as of yet, so if you want anything, drop me a comment or jump on my Facebook page, Jetski's Garage, or Instagram, Benny Jetski, and yeah, you can send me a message and we can sort it out from there. But yeah, thank you. Big shout out to all the people that have supported me already and bought some merchandise. Really do appreciate it. So yeah, now getting back into this engine. Hopefully get this running today in the Coupe. Already got spark plug leads done, carby's on, got the radiator in. Gonna probably go down the wreckers. I don't know whether to run a mechanical fan or another electric thermo fan. All the wiring's there for the thermo fan. But yeah, everything being closed with COVID at the moment does make it a little bit hard. But yes, so this, don't even know what this radiator hose come off. So I'm just going to do a bit of a trim job to get that to sit a bit better, because when it was there, it was kinking up here a bit more. But a little trick that someone taught me, if you don't have the right cutters to be able to cut heater hose and stuff, put a hose clamp around it. And then I'm going to grab this blade and then just trim around and hopefully give me a nice straight cut. Oh, have a look at that. It's not too bad. I'm happy with it anyway. Well, I've been tinkering along, getting a few of those extra little pieces together on the engine, just the mundane stuff. Ended up changing the spark plug wires because the yellow was a bit meh. But yeah, didn't have an alternator, so I went back to Graham, got another alternator. Thanks very much, Graham, for that. Radiator hoses are on. I don't have a fan yet still. Did find a plastic one I had in the shed, but I don't have long enough bolts to be able to go for the spacer as well. But throttle cable's all done, wiring's all done, sensors are all done, exhaust is on, gearbox has oil in it. Yeah, just gotta put some water in the radiator. But my list So gearbox is done, diff doesn't matter because I don't have drive shaft yet. Radiator, alternator's done, carby's done, throttle's done, earth's done, battery's done, sensor's done, seat rails and fan can wait, and so can diff oil. So pretty much ready to kick that thing in the guts. Yeah, buddy. Woo. Pretty happy with that. Spot on 8 degrees timing, so happy with that too. It's not real loud, which is good because that other engine was pretty loud. So it's a bit cold here in Adelaide still, so condensation. But yeah, this is a runner. Bit of a fuel leak, I reckon. That fitting was loose. I accidentally left that loose, but anyway. That happens. Should be on the road in no time. Well, luckily enough, I did get to sort the drive shaft out. Good guy down at CBC Bearings helped me out with a universal joint, gave him some measurements, and he was able to get back to me with something they said should be pretty close, but he was absolutely bang on and fit perfectly. So that's the part number. But keep in mind that that is for 9-inch drive shaft. Not sure if the yoke on the actual drive shaft end or the coupling at that end is the same as a standard drive shaft or whatever, but yeah, by measuring, and they should be able to make it work. So yeah, pretty stoked on that. So that's all in, buttoned up as well. Last piece of the puzzle is the brakes. So I've already cut the end off my brake line, and these are the actual brake hoses that go to the calipers. Now, looking in the end of this, it looks like it's a like a double flare. So rather than it sort of concaving like that, it's convex. Yeah, that's the one. Basically, I'm going to reflare that because the standard ones have it so it's concaved in. What do they call that anyway? There's a bubble flare and a double flare. But anyway, got to do it so that, yeah, it suits that hose. And then, yeah, that should pretty much be the last step. Then I can drop it on the ground and then get started on my seats because can't really drive it without them. So this is my brake flaring kit that I got. This is a Blue Point one, but I feel is a much better quality than the other ones that you can get. This clamps onto the pipe fairly well. Screw that on. Got a little insert that goes into your pipe and does your flaring for you. So yeah, that's the finished product there. So you can see what I'm saying with the way, if I can get that to focus. So yeah, the way that is, it's not really concaved in. Make sure you obviously put that on as well. Plenty of people have forgotten to put that on first. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And now that will screw into this just nicely. So I was a little bit worried about this side of things now. Our swivel limb that we got here doesn't have a long enough stem to actually push that inside this. So basically that thread's a bit too deep. So the nut is bottoming out before the actual pipe does. So what I'm gonna have to do is, well, you can do one or two ways. One, you can get a grinder or a file and just trim that end there, not the nicest way, or you can recut that off and then you can get a new end as well. So I did end up getting an end similar for when I did the wheelwood replacement. Changed my standard cylinder, so that one there is longer. So if you go back to the very first, or one of the first videos I did, putting that wheelwood master cylinder in, I sort of had to do the same thing. So but we'll see how we go with this one. I might end up just doing the dodgy way, considering it's locked down, and I don't really care about this drivetrain really. Sometimes we do like doing things a little bit dodgy every now and then, and don't really get the opportunity to do it. So we'll see what happens. Well, I did that quicker than what I could go and grab my car keys and get out of my driveway. So what I've done is I've trimmed off a little bit of that. Now when I screw this on, you'll see that see how the nut hasn't bottomed out there, but get the other one, you can see that that nut has bottomed out and I can't actually get any more out of that. So now I know it works quite nicely and there's nothing really unsafe about it at all. Still got plenty of thread in there. I will do the same to this one as well. So on to the other side now, and just wanted to show you guys that, if you can see that, that is concave. So where the rust colour is actually where that was sealing, which we don't want that. We want it basically opposite to what it is, so it gives you more of a rounded top. So I'm going to cut that end off. Also with that kit that I've got, comes with a cutter, so I'll run that around it, cut that end off, and then reflare it with the other tool. Brake lines are on. Before I went to bed last night, I did manage to get the bonnet on the car. Starting to look more like a car, which I'm pretty happy with. Been a while since this thing's been on the road. I have started on the seats to get them in. So there's a video coming for the seat install and what I'm doing with them as well. So gonna get the brakes, a bit of a gravity bleed, because at the moment, being in lockdown, can't get anyone to come around and help bleed my brakes. Probably as a clause because it's my car, but it's not really the daily. So yeah, I'm gonna fill up the reservoir and just try and gravity bleed it for the time being, just to see if it moves, and that's all I really want to do. And pretty much achieve this point in time is just get this thing moving under its own steam. So let's get into that. That's as far as that's going. Thankfully to COVID lockdown, that's as far as it's going to go. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks very much again for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a comment, like it, tell your friends. And yeah, again, thank you very much for all the people that have supported the Jetski's Garage cause and bought some shirts and stickers and stuff like that. Much appreciated. Yeah, going to get into these seats and get this thing back comfortable driving. So at the moment, as you can see, just got them sitting in there, no back seat at the moment, so technically can't really drive this thing at the moment anyway. So but yes, that will be on the next episode of Jetski's Garage. Thanks very much again for watching, guys. Catch you then.